Hi friends, this is FirearmPop, and I have another today interesting set of armed citizen stories. And this is coming right out of Freedom Magazine, First Freedom Magazine, and I just love this cover. What does it say? King Pinocchio. There he is, King Pinocchio. Yes indeed, Bobby, King Pinocchio. Anyway, moving right along, we're going to go right to armed citizen stories. And without further ado, let's get reading. One afternoon, a 37-year-old mother of two heard a knock at the front door of her home. At first, the woman assumed the visitor was a solicitor and told her 9-year-old twins not to answer. When the knocking continued and the doorbell began ringing repeatedly, the woman called for her husband at work. Her husband advised her and the children to hide while he called 911. The family hid in the crawl space in the attic. Meanwhile, the intruder had forced his way into the home using a crowbar. After rummaging through the home, the intruder worked his way to the attic, where he was met with a .38 caliber revolver. One much just like this. The woman fired 6 times. The intruder was later transported to a local medical center and is expected to survive. I don't see how, but he is. His multiple gunshot wounds. This happened in Loganville, Georgia. Brian Lee, owner of the Almond Avenue Pharmacy, had no choice but to fire his .45 caliber pistol when a 31-year-old male entered his store firing a similar model. The gunman entered the store and immediately fired multiple rounds, striking Lee's mother, Sophie Lee, in the leg. Brian Lee returned fire, causing the man to flee. He collapsed a block away and later died at the local hospital. Lee was unharmed and his mother was expected to make a quick recovery. Lee said, "We just did what we had to do to survive." Amen, brother. And that happened in Madera, California. Roger Mundwell Jr. entered his garage one morning only to be confronted by a seemingly rabid bobcat that had gained entry into through an open door. The bobcat attacked Mundell, biting him in the face and clawing at his arms. Mundell was able to escape the garage, and though the bobcat was still trapped inside, before he could warn his 15-year-old nephew, Michael, of the danger, the bobcat was spotted nearby. The cat lunged at Michael, grabbing him by the arm. As Mundell tried to pull the cat off his nephew, his wife Cindy then retrieved a firearm and handed it to Mundell, who shot the bobcat. The family was treated for injuries and vaccinated for rabies. It was later determined that the bobcat was in fact rabid. Wow. That happened in Amherst, Massachusetts. Interesting story. So it's just not only two-legged intruders you have to worry about, but also four-legged. Hasib Kurik, a homeless man living behind a gas station, spotted 2 men putting on masks and gloves outside the building. Kurik ran inside to warn the clerk, Leonard Carr. The men followed Kurik inside and began shooting. Carr retrieved his own firearm and returned fire. One of the masked men was fatally wounded, while the other fled and was arrested a few blocks away. He was charged with 2 counts of second-degree attempted felony murder, 1 count of second-degree felony murder, and 1 count of armed occupied burglary. Kurik and Carr were not injured. That was in Hollywood, Florida. Gee, my folks used to live there. After confronting a man lurking in his front yard the previous morning, Clint Lowry called the police the second time when the same man tried to gain entry by forcing open the door to his home. With his 2-year-old daughter sleeping inside, Lowry did what he had to do to ensure his family's safety. Lowry met the intruder on the front porch with the 12-gauge shotgun and held him there until the police arrived. Lowry said, "I just did whatever anybody would do to protect their family." Amen. Port Angeles, Washington. And two men walked into a Raphael Langridis store after dark. They, with their hoods pulled tight, exposing only their eyes. He grew suspicious. Duh. Understandably so, as one of the men produced a gun and pointed it at him. Raphael quickly reached for his own firearm from his waistband and pointed it in their direction. Both men jumped back in surprise before fleeing the premises. It was last reported that both men are still at large. According to police, Raphael was unharmed and nothing was stolen from his store. That was in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Last but not least, Michael and Amy Stevens were home when their two young daughters, when they saw deputies speeding past their home. The couple then overheard on the police scanner that there was a man in the area being sought by police. Michael grabbed a flashlight and headed outside to investigate and to make sure his family's home was secure. As he stepped outside, he saw the 26-year-old fugitive nearby. Michael attempted to detain him while Amy dialed 911. The fugitive was able to grab Michael's flashlight and started swinging it widely over his head. Amy appeared with a .243 rifle and warned the man that she would shoot. Soon after, the fugitive was arrested and booked on several preliminary charges. Michael suffered a few stitches, but was otherwise unharmed, and that was in Evergreen, Montana. Interesting stories. Normal human beings, United States citizens, partaking in their Second Amendment rights to protect themselves against harm and intruders. So I hope you enjoyed these stories. They came right out of First Freedom magazine. If you're not a member of the NRA, do so quickly, and you can read these along with me in the future. I won't have to read them to you. Yeah, I've got a cat going meow and a dog who got the windows open to get some fresh air in the house and is hearing every squirrel fart outside, so she's kind of nervous as well. Anyway, sorry for the background noise. This is Firearm Pop. You be safe out there, and God bless. Bye now.